This is not a racing car. It might look like a racing car, act like a racing car, steer, smell, sound and grip mostly like a racing car, but it's not a racing car, and nor is it an Audi R8. And while you're thinking about that for a minute, I'm just going to go and send it around here a bit more.
This absolute monster is the ABT XGT, and every single aero, flip, wing and intake is honed through racing. Yet this isn't a race car, it's a road car.
Perfect. Yeah, great. I've just been handed this. I don't know if you know what that is. Have a guess.
Those are its road registration documents. Yes, it has indicators, aircon and full European road certification. Yes, even with that rear wing. I'll give you this though, it was a racing car starting life as an R8 LMS GT2, but the work ABT does to convert it to road use is so in-depth, the car is no longer even called an Audi. Let me show you what I mean.
Okay, excuse me while I extricate myself from what is clearly a road car. Promise you it is, despite the roll cage and the carbon and the very lightweight door with its built-in burger slot. All the body panels are from the race car, they're all carbon. But let me show you a few things, like these ridiculous flicks. I mean, the thing is, they've got this through all regulations for road use. I mean, how when you've got this sort of stuff on it? Really interestingly, this has to use a bigger radiator than the race car because of course it's got to sit in traffic and things. Anyway, down here, we have exactly the same wheel design as the racing car, but they're an inch bigger at the front, 19s rather than 18s and 20s at the back, because they wanted it to look proper. So they've also had to raise the ride height a bit here. Lovely geek fact, they've dropped the brake calipers down so they lower the centre of gravity. We're running on a Pirelli Trofeo R tyre today. Very glad it's not raining because in standing water that must be a liability. The roof. So this one's one of the prototype cars, so it has the escape hatch in the top. The production versions won't have that, which I think is a bit of a shame actually. Giant roof scoop, which is just wild. It's this car's signature and I think it looks terrific, but it's not my favourite feature, which is this. This isn't a fuel flap. That's your jacking point for your air jacks. That's fantastic. Then at the back, we've got the V10 engine, very flexy carbon strips. And buried beneath that is, it has to use the road car's fuel tank because the bag tank, the big bag tank for the racing car, isn't road legal. But this, a lengths they've had to go with this car is unbelievable. They've even had to crash test one of these. Yikes.
It's taken ABT 2 years of work to get the XGT converted to road use and through German certification. The cabin is a masterpiece. It still has all the race features, including this wonderfully simple panel. Why can't all modern car cabins be this easy to operate? And has been retrofitted with aircon, central locking, rear camera and key slot, and it's all been done to such a high standard. But that's not surprising. ABT, it's a surname not short for ABT, has been going since the 1890s, starting as a literal coach builder. But it got into racing early and has a long-standing relationship with Audi. Together they've won multiple DTM championships, and ABT is already a highly regarded tuner of Audi road cars. Although unlike AMG with Mercedes and Alpina with BMW, it's retained its independence, which meant Audi couldn't stand in the way of ABT's desire to create a 640 horsepower ultra extreme road car from a GT2 race car. Audi builds that and sells them to customer race teams for around £400,000. ABT is using that as the basis to create a run of road cars. So what's it like as a road car?
Noisy, unsurprisingly, but tractable. You know, this engine, the 5.2 litre V10, is a good-natured engine. It's not that highly strung. It does feel bizarre to be driving on roads in something with a towering great wing, a massive roof scoop, this blistered arches, all the aero stuff, and these are the actual DTM seats. But to make them road legal, they had to cut off the big bolsters that protrude out front. I mean, it's pretty full on. But whatever they've done to the suspension to make it track so straight and taken all the aggression out of it is brilliant. It sits really happily at 70 odd miles an hour, just tracking along. Look, hands off the steering wheel, it's fine. Well, that V10's never far away, is it? Proper thing. He likes it. Lots of people are buying these track-only hypercars, but they always want to drive them on the road. They want to be like those road-converted Aston Vulcans or P1 GTRs. ABT have done it all for them, for a lot less money and a lot more usability. Anyway, being a bit docile out on the road, I think we need a bit more track action. So this is more like it, the XGT in its natural environment, on track in Mallorca with a lovely view out over the sea. It is at home here. I think we can safely say it's an absolute monster on track. It's just so agile. Out of these corners you've got so much traction, of course, not four-wheel drive this one, just rear drive, and so much lighter than the road car, and it feels it. It's just the way that diff locks up to punch you out of corners is so good. You just feel it sort of smear the rear wheels a little bit to line you up straight for the next bit. It's wonderful. I mean, no road car grips like this. We're on Trofeo Isles at the moment. Optionally, you can have this on slicks. And, well, maybe you need them. You'd certainly benefit from them.
Despite the volume from that 8,000 RPM V10, the exhaust meets noise regulations and emissions too. Although figures of 473 grams a kilometre and 13.6 mpg are pretty scary. The suspension is four-way adjustable, and overall it's only 50 kilos heavier than the race version.
So what are the drawbacks over the full house racing car? Well, there's two, and I don't actually even think they're drawbacks, they're just civilities, if you like. They just make the car more manageable. The first one is the gearbox, because you have not got a straight cut dog gearbox in this. You've got a 7-speed twin clutch. I mean, the shifts are so quick, they're just not as aggressive. They don't hit you in the back like a racing car does. And the other thing is vibration. To make it civilised enough for use on the road, they took out the hard mounting of the engine and the suspension. So the suspension's got rose jointed, it's got bushings in it. And the engine, you don't get the vibration so much because that's got rubber bushings in it as well. I'm starting to be able to smell the brakes now, and they're getting a bit of hard use, and it just feels great. Oh, little beads of sweat trickling down the inside of my helmet. I need to turn the aircon up a bit. Let's do that. There's an authenticity to the XGT that you very rarely find. And that's because it's been done by a pedigree race team. ABT is building 99 of these, each 598,000 euros plus tax. And I don't think that's particularly bad value. Buyers are just going to have to get over their prejudices about spending that much on an Audi.
Audi chose never to uprate the R8 with lightweight versions, which means it's often been overlooked and hasn't had the driver-focused reputation enjoyed by some rivals. And now it's too late. The last ever R8 rolls off the production line in a few weeks.
And I don't think the R8 ever really fulfilled its potential. This is a glimpse into what might have been. The XGT is easily the most exciting and intense R8 there has ever been. I'm going to leave you to gawp.